Welcome back to another episode of Positively Uncensored, your favorite reality TV and interview podcast. If you know me, if you've been here for a while, then you probably had a premonition that number one, this podcast was hard for me to get through. And your second premonition that you had was probably that I have a lot of thoughts on the podcast itself. If you thought those things, both are correct. I have tons of thoughts about Alex Cooper herself as the host, about Huda, about all of the things that were said, about Alex's comments before the interview, and I'm going to get into all of it. Now, before we start, I want to ask that if you are here, I rarely do lives. So if you wouldn't mind liking the live to let everybody know that I'm going live. This was like a sporadic thing. So thank you to everybody who was able to hop on. If you would like the live and write a comment, we'll get this thing going. From Nana, I'm really excited. I'm really loving your channel. Excited for this live. And hey to Kayla, I'm so excited too. I also want to start with, because I rarely go live, I want to be honest about the fact that I sometimes get nervous as I go live. And you might hear like a wavering in my voice, which is partially due to the fact that I get nervous. And then also partially due to the fact that I have drank way too much coffee and not eaten yet today. So if you hear that in me, it usually goes away about 30 minutes in, but I wanted to start with that. I also want to let you know that as far as what my hair is doing, I put in way too much dry shampoo and didn't realize until I got on here. Like, at first I thought I had gray hair, which would have been a panic. And I would have believed from the season that it gave me that much gray hair. But simultaneously, no, I dumped a lot of dry shampoo on myself, and that's what happened. So without further ado, let's get into things. I'm not going to start with the interview, even though I have it up. I'm going to start with Alex Cooper's thoughts before the interview, because I just have a lot of thoughts on that itself. So give me just a second. Okay.
Interview Huda. I interviewed Amaya this morning and it was spectacular. Truly everything you could have imagined. She is the most bubbly, charismatic, beautiful, kind woman. She is probably one of the funniest people I've ever interviewed. Her one-liners, I'm like, I wish I could just have you around in my life at all times. Now to Huda. This conversation with Huda is obviously going to be a different conversation than I had with Amaya, just because the internet is really doing their thing with this conversation around Huda. I have personally gotten so many messages being like, don't you dare have Huda on. And while that is maybe what you would do on your podcast, I'm going to let a woman speak on my podcast. If you disagree, you can start your own podcast. No, but being for real, I think
I do have my own podcast, Alex, and if I was given the opportunity to do the interviews that you do, I would certainly take a different approach. Thank you for the advice. I appreciate it. I also think it's funny that Alex tried to go into this interview like being all controversial and polarizing and like appealing to the fans. Like appealing to Huda's fans, like that's who this video was for. She's like, and if you don't like it, sorry. Like she wants people to get the vibe that she's like unapologetically a Huda lover. And like to that point, you succeeded.
my frustration, not saying anyone is perfect. I'm not perfect. Are you perfect? But I think the conversation that's starting to really agitate me is, when are we going to give men the same energy when it comes to accountability? When are we going to do that? It's almost like we know we can't hold men accountable because we're in such a misogynistic society. So we then are like, we know maybe we'll have a little bit of traction if we go for a woman because, and it's like, can we stop? Can we give men the same fucking energy that we give women every damn time? I'm not saying that I'm not going to hit the points that a lot of people are asking me to hit. I don't even know what I'm doing. How do people do this? I can't even do my makeup. They're all
Also concerning that these are points that people asked her to hit and not just points that she thought of on her own. It's very much so, let me ask this for others. And like, yes, as a host, you are supposed to be sort of like this medium between the audience and the person that you're interviewing to convey some of the strongest opinions from the viewers. And yet simultaneously, the fact that Alex Cooper didn't see these things on her own without being told to ask them, and more so feels like she's being pushed to ask them, is concerning.
curl my eyelashes. As a Love Island watcher since the OG days of UK Love Island, I interviewed Olivia Atwood from season 2. The premise of Love Island used to be These people were having crash outs every fucking day and they weren't in it for the money. And it was before people realized you could become super famous from it. And so people were just being unhinged. And now I think it has become a game of you're seeing a lot of people playing it safe. One thing that people can't say about Huda, it's like that girl came in and was raw. Maybe it made you uncomfortable. Maybe she was too much, whatever you want to deem it. Like there were a lot of people moving in that villa that were, but
First of all, I wonder what word she would use to describe that behavior if it was a Black woman who was doing all of the things that Huda did. I wonder if raw would be the verbiage that she would use. As far as the comment on this is a masterclass in peak white feminism, absolutely. Alex Cooper needs to read Hood Feminism. She needs to read They Were Her Property. She needs to read she needs to watch Deconstructing Karen. I have many recommendations for Alex, but as far as you having the privilege to have the platform to interview what should have been our president, Kamala Harris, and yet you drop the ball so massively and act like you and your team can't put together some questions is concerning.
end up to the top PR.
I'm sorry that I keep pausing so much. Additionally, I know the origin of the buttoned up to the top, trench coat buttoned up to the top. So it's so interesting that as Alex is bringing on someone to interview on her podcast who has directly harmed Black women, that she's using phrases that she got from Black women. Like the either hypocrisy or just caucasity of it all isn't lost on me.
Which one would you rather have for reality TV? I need to go do my makeup because I clearly can't do this. I am totally down to have conversations and hold women accountable, but I do.
And as far as what I would rather see on TV, I would much rather that producers don't put things on TV that would start a racist hate campaign. And as far as like who she's referring to that she felt like was PR buttoned up to the top, she's clearly referring to Shelley and Alandria, whom the one and only time that they spoke up for themselves, they were already deemed the mean girls for that one time that they spoke up for themselves. So they, like Nick Vile, who always has this sort of commentary as well, not everybody has the privilege of a white man or a white woman to go on a show and be a villain and then get brand deals and a podcast for it. So I just feel like Alex's lack of understanding, it's not as if I even expect anything from her at this point, but that in itself is sad. I need to do my makeup. What is she even rambling about? That's such a good point. Do not turn it around on us when she didn't do her part this past election either. Exactly. Exactly.
Do you think we need to look inward, ladies? Because if you look at all the comments, mostly it's women. And when are we going to start holding men accountable? Do you see who's running our country? I think what Huda has done
We
here is
do.
not so egregious. Let's talk about the men who are in positions of power who have literally abused their power, abused women, abused basically everything in their life. And we're like, what do you mean he did that? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Girl, let's redirect the energy.
It's the girl, too.
I'm about to get in the car. I just took my migraine medication. There's like a competitive side of myself when I saw the internet being like, oh, Alex Cooper passed on Huda because she wanted to. No, Color Daddy's going to bring it to you. Get ready with me to interview Huda.
Huda is a woman of color. And I think that when I say, so like, let's go back to the beginning where Alandria and Huda had a conversation and Alandria stood up for herself and told Huda, not right now. And Huda started to cry. When I say the words that those were white woman tears, what I mean by that is not that you have to be a white woman to do it. What I mean by that is that you're using your tears against a Black woman in a way that flips a narrative and instantly makes it about why you are crying versus what was done to, first of all, offend Alandria. So like that's what I'm referring to. And that's also a good point as well. While it's not mine to make, I'll put that on the screen so that others can chime into the conversation as you watch this video back. All right, so let's get into the interview. I'm going to start with the difference, and I'm going to trigger warning. My interpretation of the interaction between Chris and Huda in the bedroom, where she was poking him after hearing what he said on this podcast episode, is completely different than what I had in my last video, where I wasn't sure. I could see that. I could see that she was waking him up to argue. I wasn't sure. But naturally, as soon as I hear Chris convey the situation in his words, that's what I'm listening to. So we're going to start with listening to what he said on the Vile Files, and then we'll go to what Huda said, and then I'm going to go throughout the episode to things I have time stamped. But I thought that that was the place that I would like to start first. Let's see, how do I do this?
That's what rubbed me the wrong way, especially that next day. I was hot, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm big on, like, not bringing my past emotions from yesterday to the new day, but that really didn't sit well with me because I'm like, "How are you gonna act like that? Like, I've never rejected you. Like, all I did was set a boundary and you just weren't respecting it," you know
Mhm.
what I mean? I respected all her boundaries, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, like, forcing her, like, complaining that she wasn't kissing me on the outside. Like, when she told me why, I'm like, "Okay, like, I get it, but, I don't understand, but I'm gonna respect your boundary at the end of the day." So I just feel like that wasn't really reciprocated, but, it's okay.
Was it hard to hear the threat of, like, if is this really worth, like, me being in a shitty mood tomorrow and not talking to you? Like, if you don't do this, I will.
I think in the moment, it was tough to hear because it's like, why did it have to get to that extent
Yeah.
over a boundary that I had set? But, she is who she is, especially when emotions are high, and her biggest thing was, like, feeling rejected. She didn't wanna
Mhm.
feel like she was getting rejected.
Did you explain that that was how you had felt when you'd wanted to kiss her and she didn't wanna kiss you in front of everyone? The, like, being like, "I understand how you felt rejected in this moment,
Mhm.
but in these other moments where I wanted to show affection and you
Oh,
didn't, like, I also felt
hell yeah, I
rejected."
told her that, and I told her, like, it kinda made me feel like you were embarrassed of me or something like that
Yeah.
because everybody in there approved, and they told you how much they like us together.
Okay, hold on, because this is the part, but there was something right before this that I'm going to try to find. So apologies, I'm not going to be on this page for a second, but I'm going to open up the transcript. Okay, where is it? Okay, I think this is it.
I feel like what you guys didn't get to see is the whole argument and why we were arguing. We weren't
Okay.
arguing because I didn't cuddle her. We were arguing because we were told, like, we were only gonna get 2 hours of sleep, and instead of prioritizing sleep, she wanted to get, active in the
Mm,
bedroom, and
mhm.
I wasn't I wasn't about that, and I had made that clear to her. I'm like, "Look, like, if we're not gonna be doing PDA on the outside, you can't even give me a kiss, like, we're not doing shit in the bedroom, like, don't."
Especially if I only get 2 hours of sleep.
Okay. So exactly. So they weren't really arguing. This is after the pillow fight. They weren't really arguing because she wanted to have a conversation. They weren't really arguing because she wanted a cuddle. They were arguing because she wanted to be active in the bedroom. Chris had already said that as far as doing, and we saw it on camera, as far as doing things in the bedroom, that was out for him because what how can you want to have sex with me in a room with 20 people in it and compromise our sleep, which is for 2 hours. But in public, as far as holding hands, kissing your cheek, just being physical together, being affectionate to each other, you don't want that. It just really it made no sense to him, so he had already established that, so then to even try again is a problem. But for then, afterwards, you're trying to wake him up so that you can be active, so that you can be intimate. Then you threaten him, "Is this worth how I'm going to treat you the next day?" That's so inappropriate, and it's been pointed out by many other creators that if the situation was reversed, that there's that this would absolutely just be a completely different situation. It would just be a completely different situation. And if you need another podcast to tune into, Jessie Wu went live yesterday and she did a great job talking about this situation. But that wouldn't have been the reaction. Okay? So now I'm going to go to what Huda said on her episode with Call Her Daddy regarding that same incident.
In the dead of sleep. And
Oh, girl, he was not.
Want to start a podcast, but not sure how? Riverside?
I use Riverside for anybody that wants to start a podcast.
This man was not asleep. He purposely rolled over and was just standing there like this, stiff as a board, like standing there like this. And I'm like, hey, he's not listening. So I'm like, to his lip, I'm like, brother, I know you're awake. And he's.
I hate that she uses brother. And it's usually when she's annoyed or angry. And it's usually towards Chris or Jeremiah. So I hate that as well. I'm never, for people who are new to my channel, in case you're just showing up here, I want to point out that I'm never the type of person who typically says reverse situations, because in most of the time, and I repeat this a lot, so if you're not new, I apologize, but in most situations, this whole gender flip isn't applicable because women don't hold the power that men do. In this situation, we need to talk about the fact that if she had turned her back and decided that tonight was going to be the night, that they were not going to be intimate, and she had already decided whether she's not in the mood, whether whatever, and as she's trying to go to sleep, he's touching her face and he's poking her back, and then he's threatening her as far as what he will treat her like tomorrow. Mind you, this is the last day. Tomorrow's the finale. Tomorrow's the last day. And yet you're just unable to help yourself. Huda's unable to help herself because she has to go there. She has to go there.
just like acting like he's asleep. He just rolled over. Like he's sitting there acting like he's dead asleep. And I'm like, dude, why the fuck are you ignoring me, bro? Like,
and you're like, if you don't cuddle me, I'm going to be mad at you tomorrow.
Because I was so over it because I brought it up so many times. And you just smacked me in the fucking face. I got fucking tape on my nose looking like the fucking Notre Dame or
It's like I understand. I'm not trying to crucify for every single thing that she says, but language is important, right? We should be intentional with how we're speaking, especially on the number one podcast platform. And she was never smacked in the face. Now, if she said that she was smacked in the face with a pillow, if she said that Chris hurled a pillow from across the room, still, but okay. I was whacked in the face with a pillow. I was caught off guard at the pillow. He threw a pillow at my face, all of that. But to just say I was just smacked in the face and have a nose cast on, if this moment was taken out of context, as moments are where people don't care to go back and watch, people listen to those 5 seconds, clip it, and it becomes something entirely different. I think that's why I'm not to say that I'm perfect, because I'm certainly not. And I will always hold myself accountable, as will the people I have in real life, as well as my community. But I'm trying to be intentional with how I say things for a reason.
whatever the fuck, like over here. And brother, you're sitting here and you're just like, oh.
You're like, I'm going to count to 3.
Yeah, because I'm trying everything. I tried everything. I got down to, okay, you want me to treat you like a child? Yeah, I'm gonna sit here, bitch. Was that the correct thing to do? No, I should have just left it and just left it alone. But you keep telling me that you're gonna fix this and fix that and do this and do that, and it's like you're not doing it. And it's getting to that point where I'm like, brother, this is so irritating to me because it's every single night. You know when like they say like the guys will give you 100% and then they'll take away 20, give you another 10, take away 20, give you.
And the way that Alex like doesn't pick up on anything, it's so tough. Like I know for a fact that Alex probably talked to Huda's PR, and there was probably a goal coming out of this interview, right? Simultaneously, as a host, I can see that Alex is egging on Huda in this state where she's saying too much. She's enabling it, she's encouraging it, and it's weird. It's weird. And like, I'll never believe that Alex ever watches a full season, because if she does, she misses so many things. Oh my gosh. Deidre, look at us. Or Deidre, correct me on pronunciation. I said the exact same thing at the exact same time. That's what this interview did for me as well. And it made me realize that as far as being self-aware, no, Huda's not. Neither is Alex. I'm like, Alex, going back for a second to her TikTok, because I forgot to make this point. As far as Alex wanting to watch a reality TV show where there's no people who are PR or who watch their image or who button things up, Alex, you just signed a, don't quote me, 200 million roughly dollar deal with SiriusXM after being the top podcast on Spotify. You did a lecture for Spotify as their like a global ambassador, teaching people how to better have like their podcast stand out. If anybody is PR and media trained, Alex, you hate what you are. You hate what you are. Very, very interesting. I am just happy that the Kiki Palmer will have Shelly or Landria on her show. Okay, so let me scroll through and see which timestamp I want to start with. I just wanted to start by talking about the Chris and Huda issue because the differences in how they describe the situation, just very shocking to listen to, as was a lot of this interview. All right, so there's just a few things I'm going to highlight.
Tinder double date now lets friends match.
I was just about to say there's no shot that I get through this without a commercial because Alex Cooper loves an ad. She loves an ad. Okay.
Coming true. I remember in that point, and then, we, kiss in the heart thing, and, he kissed a girl on the cheek, and I was like, like, why would a man not do that for me? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, period. Like, we love that. Everyone's like, do you not think it's a red flag? I'm like, damn, like, is that a red flag? I'm like, fuck. I'm like, am I tripping here? Because I'm so used to getting love bombed. At that point, when everyone's like pointing out to me, they're like, do you not think that's a red flag? And I'm sitting there in beach and I'm just like, am I being love bombed? Like, is this not real? I'm like, is this like, am I tripping?
How would you describe your guys' dynamic in the first?
So Jeremiah being affectionate and turning his head to give another girl a kiss is love bombing. Got it. Huda saying I love you right away to everybody that she met. Shelly and Alandria, the moment she met him, I'm a mother, I love you. Like, I love you to every single person that she met, always being by their side, overwhelming them with information. That's not love bombing. What's that sound on TikTok? That's like, it's okay when you do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck them. Jesus, Huda. Like, it's okay when you do it, but everybody else, we're supposed to look for underlying problems. I don't even dislike Huda. I think she's young and has never had anyone really hold her accountable. I think that at first I felt that way. At this point, I do dislike her. I dislike the person that we're seeing. I dislike her fan base even more. Huda was talking about a wedding and living together week 1. She wanted Jeremiah's location while she was sitting in the bed with him. Where is he? He's next to you. You know what I mean? And as far as letting the fans getting in her head, absolutely. Her 16-year-old fans enabling her behavior, but the problem was that behavior existed prior to the fans. And now she feels vindicated in her behavior because there's a large number of people behind her. And yet simultaneously, I listened to her interview on Blavity as well. Shout out to Trey, who always does a phenomenal job. But I listened to her interview and I still have yet to hear the words, The racism that's coming from my fans is disgusting. Nobody can support me and be racist towards any of my cast members. Not Shelly, not Alandria, not Ace. That shouldn't be coming out of support of me. It's talked around, it's danced around. It's people don't send hate. It's people don't be mean. It's please send love. Call your fan base out. Risk losing some 16-year-olds. Parents, I'm so fed up with parents and I feel so bad. Like, what a judgmental little bitch I am. I'm 30 years old. I don't have a kid. I'm so judgmental. Parents who let their kids go on the phone and are just bring back helicopter parenting. I don't care. Bring it back because you probably should go on your kid's phone. I know it's an invasion of privacy. I hated it, but you know what? You should probably do it. Go see what your kid's commenting, especially if they're watching Love Island. It's so ridiculous. The fact that when Shelly was able to limit and age restrict her post to people above the age of 16, you can limit the amount of hate coming through there. And exactly, Leah shut that down immediately. Immediately. Exactly. It's just be intentional with your wording. I do think that's important. Her fans aren't being mean spirited. Her fans aren't being hateful. Her fans are being racist, you know? Okay, continuing on. Shout out to the 98 people in here. This is, in fact, the most amount of people I've ever had on a live. Still a small creator over here on YouTube. If you're in the live, please like the live. Thank you to every single person who is chiming in with their comments. I am trying to keep up with it as I continue on. Okay, let's see. Continuing on this just a little bit before we switch places from Jeremiah.
Back. Shit. There's so much that has happened in that villa. It's like,
I know.
I mean, honestly, the whole thing with you told me the kissing thing.
Yeah.
Like the people brought that to my attention. Like that is a red flag. You know, just like from what
See, Alex is like feeding her things this entire time. It's crazy.
I've seen is like when I'm having conversations with other people, like he's looking over too. Like see things like that. You know, when, for example, before Pepe walked in, he was like, I'm not gonna be intimidated unless he's like a 6'3", like buff guy. Like I'm not gonna be intimidated at all. Then Pepe walks in and now it's like when he found out Pepe didn't really like me, that's why he befriended Pepe. And to make sure, like that's what the guys would do. They would befriend each other so hard. I never had a shot. Like
She did that with every single bombshell who came in. Every single one. First Amaya was a bitch, then she was her best friend. Huda code switches and talks that dang baby speak. Exactly. It's back and forth. That's why I would notice it in and out during the season because sometimes we would be there and sometimes we would be in the baby.
it was not fair. Like at all. And now it's bro code. And I clocked all this shit. There's so much stuff that I clocked that proved me right when I saw like little.
It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business.
Edits and shit. I was like, oh my God, I wasn't crazy. Like I wasn't losing my mind here. Girl. When the whole Iris thing happened, I think I was working out with Pepe and Hannah. And like at this time,
I'm going to go forward. It's like I've already listened to this 3 times so I could get my notes. And it's truly almost unbearable. Let's see. She talks about how when Iris came in, Jeremiah was like, and sorry, I have coffee on my tongue. Can't help it. Just was drinking coffee. But basically, Jeremiah sticks his tongue out, and that made her mad. Like she was like, like Jeremiah was way too excited about that connection. Oh, you know what? Actually, damn it, I do have to play this clip. All right.
I wasn't with Jeremiah. I wasn't with him. I remember he was in the kitchen. And I could just feel this man staring. Like I see him staring because Pepe was like helping me with my weights and stuff. And I could see this man staring from the kitchen. Like I'm just like, I know he's looking at me right now. He does that.
Yeah.
He would do that.
Okay, whenever a new bombshell came into the villa and wanted to explore with Jeremiah, you had pretty intense reactions.
Yeah.
Even though you guys weren't technically closed off.
Yep.
Why were you getting so territorial?
I think because I was scared because of everyone doubting us in general. And it made me wonder, like, okay, what is he saying?
What? What is he saying? What is he saying? We see it. We see it. You're draining. You've been draining. You've been draining the life out of the villa. You and Jeremiah's relationship quite literally sucked the air out of the room. So what do you mean? People doubted your connection because it was miserable. It was miserable in there. You know what? It was so miserable. And nobody could get away from it because it was always talking about Jeremiah or arguing with Jeremiah, or then you would like ignore the girls because then you were like obsessed with Jeremiah and with Jeremiah. So it's really hard to keep up with that. It's really hard to keep up with that. We doubted your connection at home as well. We doubted it. In fact, we didn't doubt it. We didn't like it. We didn't like it. That's why we split up, you and Jeremiah. It was draining to us as viewers to see a couple argue that much. It's supposed to be fun, honeymoon. Like this is supposed to be like a great time. Some drama, yes, here and there, but like where was that? Where was that? Let's see what the chat's saying. What she said made zero sense. She got territorial because she wondered what he was saying to make people doubt their connections. Exactly. There's no accountability. It's always like the blame game. Like, what did everybody else do to cause this? Well, potentially it could be the fact that you called him a pussy ass bitch. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But it could be that. It could be the fact that you got upset about pancakes. It might be the fact that you called every girl that came in a bitch and told them to stay away from Jeremiah. Like, I don't know, just a guess, but it might be that. I want an interviewer to ask Pepe if he actually liked Huda. That's what I would like to know. Okay, let's see. Also, Huda said that it was her dream to come on the show. I'm going to skip that part and just give you the recap. Huda said that it was her dream to go on Love Island. She applied herself traditionally, basically because a guy that she was talking to that was really toxic had heard from the show. And she said, he knew it was my dream show, and you knew that. And she's like, well, then I'm going to apply too. Fuck it. If you can get from them, then so can I probably. And then that's how she ended up on the show. Why did I get here? Why did I get here? You're going to see my ADHD crash out real time. Usually I edit this stuff out, but because we're live, I'm going to keep it going. But basically, it was her dream to get on this show. Oh, I know what I was going to say. And then she said that she thought Amaya. Oh wait, actually she was right. Okay, let me walk it back. I have to say where she's right. I too would think Amaya saw footage, but that's her job. And that's what Alex tells her. Like, Alex is basically like, okay, but you thought Amaya saw footage of you and Jeremiah, came in to get at you, which is why she went after him. But even if she did do that, which I guess Amaya didn't see footage, which is weird, right? They usually do. But I guess Amaya didn't see footage. And Alex told her, like, even if Amaya did, that was quite literally the role of a bombshell to do that. And it's like no accountability really from Huda on that either. So I'm not going to play that part back. It's already a lot to get through. Let's go forward to see what Huda has to say about her relationship with Ace.
Can you confirm, was there ever any sexual tension between you and Ace?
Yeah, at one point I liked him. I definitely did. Like, there was a point where I definitely found him attractive. I thought he was really cute. I did not kiss him for nothing. Like,
yeah. Have you seen now the screenshots that people have posted confirming that Ace?
We knew, by the way. Now, Alex bringing this up, I'm not even going to play it. Because Alex, why did she bring this up? Like, have you seen the screenshots? So she basically talks about how Ace allegedly was like liking Huda's pictures from before the show. And Huda's like, yeah, like I've heard excuses, I've heard reasons, I've heard denials. Stop being on your phone so much. Stop being on your phone so much. He's in a happy home. He's happy with Shelly. So why are we asking that? I just thought it was a weird question. Going forward,
do shit in there. Like, yeah, we had sex, but it wasn't like full on boo boo. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
What was that noise you just made?
Boo boo. Like, there's not full like boom chicka boom, the bow chicka bow bow. Like it wasn't like full, you know.
But you were like you were intimate pretty early.
Yeah, we were.
How do you think that complicated things, if it did?
I think
so she says that did complicate her and Jeremiah's relationship. And she also said that you couldn't have like full on sex in there, I guess, which I'm not really sure. Like, I guess, yeah, like you can't, it's not like when you go to the Hideaway, like you can't get out toys, but you were definitely having sex. And then she goes on to say that she felt like Jeremiah got what he wanted and then discarded her. And I don't think that at all. I think that, and I'm going to say this very respectfully, and I'm only meaning one thing. I think that Huda, I think that one of her love languages, besides words of affirmation, physical touch, besides acts of service, is definitely physical touch. She was a very physical person. And I think that she led with sex early on in the relationships. And I don't mean to say that she got what she wanted. Maybe Jeremiah was the person who first initiated that. It doesn't really matter. But it feels like, it feels like more or less you got what you wanted. Like it feels like you started these relationships very sexually. And then after that, because you had sex with them, you asked for things that nobody was ready for. And I think that you falsely, although I understand girl to girl, but I think that you falsely equated intimacy with someone to being like fully committed, locked down, boyfriend, girlfriend, them do everything for you. And I think that especially in this experience on Love Island, that's just not what it was. And I love that comment. I'm really enjoying this conversation with my coffee, like live. Thank you. I've said since the beginning, I would have rather not seen any of this play out. Like, I didn't want to sit here all season and talk about Huda. I also knew what was coming as far as what would happen with criticisms towards Shelley and Alandria because of the misogynoir that I see on other reality TV shows. So I said since the beginning, respectfully, Love Island isn't the place for Huda. Once she listen, she could have gone home much earlier when Jeremiah went home, and she already had an established fan base. And if you're supporting her and you're going to keep supporting her, then you do that. You know what I mean? Like she wouldn't have walked away with like less support during this interview as well. And I didn't write down a timestamp, so I'll say it. She says that she was jealous of Jeremiah. I'm paraphrasing, but she said Jeremiah got to leave the villa. He got to leave the villa and write his own story. Keep it cute. Tell everybody who he is. Show his own narrative of who he was. She wanted to leave the villa. She should have been able to. And Huda HQ and her delusional fans who kept her there and said, we'll keep you there regardless. That's how we ended up here. Like, that's how we ended up here. I don't think she was emotionally ready to see so many other couples being liked out loud. She wasn't. And she certainly wasn't prepared to see she was going after the same guys that Shelley was. She certainly wasn't prepared to see Shelley getting these affirmation, acts of service, and niceties that she wanted. She wanted those. But I want that. I'm used to being picked. I'm used to being chosen. I want that. And I don't think that she was used to that. And I think that especially seeing Shelley get that attention and having not even been intimate with Ace, I mean, I think that she was jealous of that. I think she was jealous to see the other girls given these cute things, and she would have sex with whoever she was partnered up with, Jeremiah and Chris, and then she would expect to have that same treatment, that princess treatment, and then she wouldn't get it. And that's why I'm saying having sex with someone isn't always synonymous to having like a meaningful, lasting relationship, even though I understand that that's hard to digest and a hurtful position to be in. Because Alex tries to play that card. She's like, if a woman has ever been there and you've ever felt discarded after you have sex with a guy, and it's like going back to my college days, going back to my early 20s, of course I understand that experience. Simultaneously, when you try to I don't want to use the word trap, but when you try to force a relationship that's built around sex and you try to make things happen, you're going to be let down. You're going to be let down. Now, continuing on. Love this. Oh, not this. This. Comparison is the thief of joy. Sorry, Kiki. I didn't mean to put that up. Leah, I know you didn't want to discuss the abuse portion, but that princess treatment could stem from her father giving her gifts to keep quiet. Absolutely. And that's why, it's like I'm definitely I'm a psych major, a sociology minor. I see how her childhood shows up and how she moves today. And having extra context, even her maybe like how she expresses her sexuality and like taking control of her own sexuality and flipping that narrative and consciously choosing who she's going to be intimate with. Fear of abandonment. I understand all of those things stemming from what happened to her in her childhood. And I have so much empathy for Huda as a child and as she grieves and deals with those things through therapy. And yet simultaneously, as someone who has different types of trauma, our traumatic pasts are not an excuse to show up and mistreat people. You know what I mean? And I'm sure you already know that too, Kiki, but I'm saying that for other people as they pop into the live or as they rewatch the video back. Okay, let's see. It made me sad that Huda and Sierra thought that sex would get their men to stay. Exactly. It's a sad, like, I'm not, like, let it be known, I'm an empathetic person. Like, I see that behavior and recognize it. And that's why I said since the beginning, what she needs is therapy. This isn't conducive with positive mental health, growth, really reflecting on herself. This is conducive with her getting out of the island and having a lot of attention, a lot of attention. Well, I digress. Continuing on. Let's see.
Early on is like I have a hard time asking for things. And yes, I've done it a lot in the show, but it's like it's because I'm getting out of my fucking comfort zone. I'm trying to ask for things and I'm trying to be communicative and like speak about it, what I'm feeling. Because the whole point, how are you feeling? Like all the time. And so I brought things up to him and he would say he was going to do, oh yeah, I have this and I have this and I have this plan. I'm going to do this, this, and this for you. I'm like, okay, yay. I'm sitting there waiting like for the day. Nothing. I'm like, that would drive any girl crazy.
Without a doubt. My question, though, back to you is, do you think that you reciprocate the same standards that you hold your partners to?
When I'm with somebody, like, and they're showing me days on end that they truly give a fuck about me, getting to know me, about showing me that they like me more than just words, but through actions.
Absolutely all for the casual sex. Absolutely. And I even understand thinking that you're able to have casual sex and then realizing that you're not. And then you move differently. Completely.
Then I'm the type of person like, girl, with my ex, he switched his career every 2 seconds. Every single time he'd be like, oh, I want to decorate shoes. I said, okay, cool. Bought him everything for it. Oh, I want to go run track. I was at the field with him. Oh, I want to do this. I would do XYZ with him. All like I'm such a supportive partner. I love uplifting and motivating whoever I'm with. That is my big thing. I think that you can do anything you want and you set your mind to. And I feel like
in the chat, do you see Huda this season as a supportive and uplifting partner? I saw one conversation where she was supportive and uplifting, and it was when she had a conversation with Chris and affirmed that he doesn't have to make a choice between basketball and finding the love of his life. That was the only time that I heard that. And that's just to be fair and acknowledge that I heard it once. But that's the only time that I heard that. And there's a difference between support and love bombing. I want to make it like in my personal opinion, me, Leah, just my opinion, just some random person, right? I think that yes, I understand she was into Jeremiah. Yes, I understand she's into Chris. But constantly being attached at your partner's hip and checking in on them and being glued to them can also feel, number one, stifling, and number two, a lot like control. It can feel like you're sort of trying to micromanage their emotions and keep their emotions under the thumb. And so that you have like the first idea of what they're thinking, and you can be the first person to reframe how they're feeling about something before they have the opportunity to talk to it about others. You know? Like, that's what came up for me. I also want to acknowledge that as a reviewer, it's impossible for me to be completely unbiased. There's, of course, past traumas in my own life that will show up and project onto things that I watch. But when I watch that, I think it seems like you're micromanaging your partner's feelings. If I never hear love bombing again, it'll be too soon, especially because so many people misuse it, especially since so many people misuse it. Let's see. And otherwise, she didn't seem to bring them down. Her partners often looked drained. That's the thing. The person that she was with looked drained from being with her. It wasn't like everybody just had a campaign against Huda's happiness. We had a campaign against seeing everybody in the house drained. And I've heard several Islanders, but definitely Nick and Alandria Nick mention in his interview on Chicks in the Office. It was just Nick, make that clear. It felt like the Huda and Jeremiah show. It felt like the Huda and Jeremiah show. Everybody knew it. We knew it. I said it at home. That's what it felt like. I felt like she cuts people down. I felt like she cut people down too. For Chris, I felt like, how can you say that you'll publicly berate me in front of people? Let's reference the baby challenge. You can publicly berate me, but not publicly give me affection. No. No, thank you, if you will. No, thank you. I I don't like how soft Chris was on Huda in his interview. I'm going to say that too, going to a random tangent, while I simultaneously acknowledge that I think him and his family are well aware of the support that she has online, and he doesn't want to fuel a hate campaign towards himself. If he was able to give grace to Huda, whatever, benefit of the doubt, whatever he wants to do during his interview without bringing more attention on Shelly and Alandria, or without just blanketly excusing Huda, I think that I would have appreciated that. While I understand that he's not in the same privilege that I'm in to just speak as I am, and I'm not connected to the situation. It seemed like a lot of excusing Huda's behaviors and a lot of holding Shelly and Alandria accountable for theirs. And exactly, the girls themselves seems drained being around her. Everybody was tired of providing that constant support, and yet she still got it. And yet she still got it. Chris went harder on his sister, and that's what I hated too. I felt for his sister. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Like, that's just like, you suck up your pride for a family member that you love, but like, to have to reach out to Huda and apologize, and then she goes on a podcast again and then bashes you, like, that's just kind of crazy. All right, let's go forward.
The literal reason why I was sobbing so much up there. I am there for Jeremiah 24/7. Always
Not
checking
the
on him. When
problem.
he's arguing with the boys and he's sad and whatever, I'm there for him. I'm like, hey, like, it's okay. You're gonna be okay. When in that moment, I'm
I would also ask Huda to really, really think about in therapy what she's asked for from her partner versus what she gives them. And I just had a very similar conversation with Marita from the Ultimatum Queer Love. If you watched the Ultimatum Queer Love, but you haven't seen my interview, I had a conversation where I just tried to very respectfully ask her, when you give to your partner the things that you want, do they ask for it? And then, do you know your partner's love language? And then, do you think that you're able to have somebody love you because you love them in a way that they're not receiving? I know what it feels like to be a recovering people pleaser. I know what it feels like to overextend and just cherish people and give so much, and then obviously expect that same treatment in turn. And yet simultaneously, when people don't ask for these things, it can feel like an obligation versus like a respectful relationship.
Hysterically crying. Taylor is sitting there comforting me the whole time. When we're off camera, he's comforting me. Taylor's scared as fuck, but he's comforting me, okay? Same goes when Taylor was in there and I'm purposely saying out loud, "Hey Taylor, do you want to help me with my coffee?" Like trying to see, hey, is Jeremiah gonna see that Jeremiah's standing right there? I'm trying to see if he's gonna step up and be like, "No, like you're not making my girl coffee." You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted
I feel like that's so toxic. Like, I just feel like that is so toxic. Like, first of all, that is, manipulative. It's certainly some mind games that she was playing. And it's just like, you know, I feel like just be direct. Like, it would have just been better to be direct. Like, if you had just said, I don't want Jeremiah. I don't want Taylor. I don't want anybody to make me coffee except for you. I was testing you. You failed. Like, I don't know. Like I don't know. Like, even like she just can't even laugh or joke at things. Like some of the things that she's asking for are so over the top. Like, can you really not laugh at that? I would have a laugh at myself if I'm like, I was testing you, failed. What I really mean is I didn't really wanna make my coffee for myself, but I will, but I will. But I would have loved if you made it, but I will make it. And, like, she can't do that, like, because that's not what she means. Like, it's not funny. It's not keeping it light. Jeremiah was allowed to not comfort her. She is never able to decenter herself. That's the other thing. The night that she was almost gonna go home, to me personally, and it's totally fair if you guys have a completely different opinion, I didn't feel like if I was Jeremiah, my first thought would have been to comfort her. Is that wrong? Potentially. Would I have been putting myself first for the first time in 2 weeks and be like, that was a whole lot for me to process too? I don't even know how I felt about her leaving. Was I happy? Was I sad? Am I relieved? Do I want to go home now? I would have so many emotions without wanting to contend with hers that I would want to be by myself. That I'd want to be by myself. Just a reminder to like the live. 150. This is the most amount of people I've ever had. Congratulations to me. Congratulations to us. Congratulations to every single one of you who are chiming in with me and talking about the season. All right, where do I want to go next? Oh, yeah. Piggybacking on what I was just talking about, actually. This is like a skill to like precisely zoom in on the timeline.
Accountability around the toxicity of this relationship.
What I will say is he got out of the villa before I did. He had a chance to write his own name before I did.
See? Like, he got to leave the villa. Like, she wanted to leave. Like, and I tried to tell the Huda fans that. I tried to tell Huda HQ, hey, she wants to go home. She wants to go home. Crickets. Crickets. Oh, thank you. I'm loving this live. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Oh, excuse after excuse after excuse. It's the blame game. Okay, moving forward. Oh, you know what? Actually, we have to go back. I missed the timestamp of why she says in her own words that she called Jeremiah a pussy ass bitch.
Right here, I have a perfect example. The internet was extremely upset when you called Jeremiah a pussy ass bitch.
Right.
And then there's also the other side of the internet who are like, damn, if that's what you guys consider bad, you would fucking hate to see me on Love Island. Regardless of how the internet feels about it, there was a lot of name calling and all the things. Like, what pushed you over to the edge to start kind of like using a little bit more profanity?
So at that point, I just felt like he kept winning. It really upset me because like it just felt like the stars were just aligning for him and everything was fucked for me.
I'm shocked. Like, It felt like he was winning and things weren't working out for me. That's a diabolical take to draining somebody's mental health for the last few weeks and then them having 1 hour of happiness.
Whole time. I was on top of him about twice. This man doesn't check on me. Then he's on a date and I'm crying by myself. Like, then he comes back happy as can fucking be, enjoying his day. Still doesn't give a fuck. Like, it's just like, damn, all that shit you said to me, where is that? And I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, damn, I'm stupid as fuck for sticking around. Like, and just giving this man my all. Like, I'm dumb for that. Because even in that moment, even after everything he did, I was still checking on this man. Like, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have never done that. And, you know, like people are saying, oh, like it's so bad that you called him a pussy ass bitch. Be so for real. You know how many people called a man a pussy ass bitch?
Me.
Right.
My ex.
Alex is like so delusional. So delusional. Notice how the interviewer led her by saying what pushed you over the edge and not simply why did you do that? Exactly. Exactly. She leads her right there. She leads her right there.
Boyfriend, if you're watching.
My
bitch. He is a fucking pussy ass bitch.
No, but like mine was recorded. Like,
oh my God.
Like when you're texting with your friends and your man just fucking did shit like that to you or something, you can text your friends and be like, fuck that man.
You fucking piece of shit, loser ass little bitch boy.
Yeah.
I will fucking ruin your life.
Literally.
Alex, show the receipts. Show the receipts of you doing that. I've done that to another white man when he was being fucking awful to me, not on national television. Alex, did you do that on national television? I missed that part. I missed the part where Alex was on national television and she degraded a black man on national TV, multiple black men on national TV. You didn't do that, Alex. You didn't do that. And don't compare it.
Pause.
Let's calm down.
I'm weak as fuck. But
I'm getting triggered.
She's like, hold on.
And also.
And now that's a ribbon. Like, they're like,
we literally go back like the trauma.
Like that one moment.
No, but it's real. It's like, why are you being held to this standard? Again, I'm not condoning it, but I'm also,
I think not the best way to do things.
You are condoning it. You are condoning it. Like, I mean, as somebody who frequently interviews people and sometimes I interview people who I like am confused by on reality TV and I'm like, I want to hear you tell your story yourself. And then sometimes halfway through I'm like, oh wow, you really kind of not shit. And then other times I love the people that I interview. Alex is an enabler. And what she was doing during this interview was she was letting Huda talk as much as possible and putting her in the capacity to feel like she could. She was sitting there and talking to her as if they were besties when she's going to get slammed for this. But the other thing that's annoying is Alex is being herself. Like, this is Alex's personality.
No, like,
but it's
really
also
not.
It's like, is it a crash out? And I think, again, this is a big conversation. If this was a man versus a woman, it's like when you see a crash out, we have seen men on reality TV punch a fucking hole through a wall. We have seen them flip furniture. We have seen them throw things at people. We have seen people literally talk about, I will fucking kill you, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying it wasn't a lot when you did it in the moment. I think because you were the only one at that level, it also kind of exacerbated you, and there was a spotlight and you're walking through and you're walking from the fire pit to the back and you're fucking, that I will give you, it was, I would have done that. You were like listening in on the conversation.
Girl, I did that a lot in this season. Because
You did a lot this season. You did a lot this season. And that's the other thing. You invade someone's pride. My dad always told me when I was younger, if you go looking for something, you'll find it. You go looking for a problem, you're going to find it. You go listening for something to hear, you're going to hear it. You go snooping through the phone, you'll find it. Hello? Hello? Like, you don't know that?
Sitting here and I'm just like, I might as well do it by myself because I don't know who the fuck's going to tell on me in here. So I'm sitting here, I'm just like, because mind you, I'm hard of hearing. So I'm like trying to listen in and see if I can hear it. I'm like, I hope I'm getting this right.
Call Her Daddy is brought to you by
Call Her Daddy is brought to you by every terrible company that's ever existed. My name is Alex Cooper. I can do any interview and give you absolutely nothing. If you want to hear me do absolutely nothing, you can watch me put on Neutrogena and talk about the people that I will be interviewing. So annoying.
Do you think Jeremiah has taken any accountability for what he caused within this relationship?
Not that I've seen. I haven't seen really much. Every
I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot.
time someone says something, I feel like he's always just like, anytime, like I saw that interview with Kai Cenat, and Kai was saying that I was crazy or something, and then Jeremiah's really like, like, do I think anyone should be getting hate? No. I'm gonna say it like it is and say exactly what happened.
The three words I agree with. No, I don't think anyone should be getting hate. The 8 words I agree with. However, we're gonna hold you accountable. We're going to be honest. We're gonna talk about things with a sense of reality. I'm still like kind of laughing, and I apologize at my impression of Alex Cooper, but I will be playing that back later for myself to hear because it will bring me pleasure. Pressure. Frank Ocean songs will randomly pop into my head about Moon River. I only know Moon River because of Frank Ocean's version. Love you. If you answer questions, you read the comment out loud. Yes, because I also upload this to my podcast platform on Spotify, and I know that sometimes people will not be able to see it. Okay, continuing on. Thank you, everybody, for participating in the live. Thank you for going through this with me. I knew that I wouldn't be able to do this in just a regular video and not get myself worked up in need of a blood pressure exam. So together, come together right now over me. So continuing on, my boyfriend's going to be like, you are like absolutely too much when he sees this. Let's see, going forward. Okay, about here.
Synopsis, what the fuck happened? What do you think it was now that you look back?
I think that personally, from what I was feeling, now I won't know, but from what I was feeling, I felt like everything was great, got intimate, things started changing a little bit, told him I was a mom, things started changing a lot of bit, like a lot of things kind of like people were getting in his ear, things were changing even more. A lot of those things happened. I was getting more needy because I was scared that he was feeling indifferent. He has every right to feel indifferent. Even if he felt indifferent about me being a mom, that's fine. But like, talk to me about it. And you're telling me every second that we're fine, you're good, you're fine, we're good, we're good. And then your actions are showing otherwise. It's like, okay.
Huda. In Huda's mind, it goes intimacy, acting different. Tell him I'm a mom, acting a lot different. People are in his ear. She gets more needy. He leaves. Huda, where in that did we leave room for the times that you degraded him? You're so nitpicky. It's everything. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you dress. I hate the way that you give me my pancakes. I'm not obsessed. Like you hate everything. You hated everything. And it was very specific things. And it was all of the time. And it was like you talk about how you're a partner who loves to hype up your partner, and then at dinner with Chris, mind you, he's at his wit's end, and he says, I don't think that we should say everything that we don't like about our partners right away. And she goes, well, I do. Hilarious. We're fine, we're good. New bop of the summer. Also, I love Amaya. But if I have to hear that thing one more time, it's almost to the point where it's like waking up in the morning, think about so many things. I just wish things would get better. It's almost like that for me at this point, coming into my yeah, give me a like for that. Oops. I always put up the wrong comment as well. Okay, you quote Kendrick, like. So yeah, basically she was very specific with the things that she didn't like about him, and it was all of the time. Okay, going forward, Alex asks her outright, "Do you think you were love bombed?"
I'm going to be upset about that. I'm not going to be like, that's fine. Like, especially if we're supposed to be working on our relationship.
Do you think you were love bombed?
Yeah. Plain simple. I think I
Plain and simple. Just plain and simple. I have this song playing, Jane, in my head right now that's like, ride with the mob, hum to Allah, check you and me, and do the job. She was love bombed. Like, that's what keeps popping in my head, but like to that beat. But you weren't. Also, thank you to whoever said, I never said I was perfect, because I did forget the lyrics. I did forget what the lyrics were, but the only one popping in my head was Gianna or Giannina, whatever her name is. Okay, going forward. We're almost getting to the end, guys, and we made it over an hour. I'm so proud of us.
Respected you because you tried to literally explore with everyone. And I think a lot of people respected that.
Thank God.
You connect with Chris, but so did Shelly.
Mm-hmm.
What was your understanding of how she felt about him?
So from the beginning, when I first saw him and we were sitting next to each other at the fireplace, at the fire pit, I was always making side jokes. I don't know if any of these are showing on camera, but like I was always making little side jokes. He would laugh at everything I said. And humor is so big to me in relationships. Like, as I'm goofy as fuck and I need a goofy person. I was a fucking theater kid. Like, I'm very goofy, very weird. Like, we love that. So I'm sitting there making like little jokes, and I have a lot of sarcasm.
Like, she's so weird.
Like, I do a lot of sarcasm. I roast the fuck out of people. I have a guy best friend and a girl best friend, like, and we're all the same way. It's like, it's just my sense of humor. Some people, they're very sensitive and they can't take that type of humor, and that's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. I just won't make those jokes with you. That's fine. But like,
her hands are like this the entire time. I just won't make those jokes with you. Like, she's about to fly away. Like, so again, it's just your personality. Pussy ass bitch, calling the girls bitches, how just sort of degrading you can be sometimes. That's your personality. If people don't like it, get over it. But everybody else should be very intentional with how they talk to you and prioritize your feelings. Like,
you know, I'm sitting here and I'm just having these jokes and doing sarcastic comments, and he is eating the shit up. And I'm like, hell yeah. You think I'm funny? Like, fuck yeah. Because in the villa, no one gave a shit about nothing I would say. I say something, it's
I'm not gonna lie. Where's Phineas? Where's Phineas Eilish? I need, you know how Jessie Woo always has like her like things that come up? I need that, and I need to learn how she does that, and I need the one of Phineas where he like talks about like, why are you talking like that? What does her being a theater kid and sarcastic have to do with Chris picking Shelly? Absolutely none. Should we go back to the timestamp of what the question was? Because the question was, talk to us about you and Shelly both being interested in Chris.
I'm just like, okay, great. And I'm in this Casa Amor. Oh, we love Huda. She's great. I'm like, yes, like, you guys like me. I was like, thank God. Because I was so isolated. I was like, you think I'm funny? Like,
okay, so you though knew that Shelly kind of was interested?
So I knew she was interested in him.
Okay.
Obviously she picked him for the kiss. When I didn't pick him for the kiss, it literally wasn't a I'm not interested in you. I literally said, and Bicha, I don't know if it was shown, but I said to Bicha how I don't know who I want, which is true because I want to get to know you. Learning from my mistakes.
Huda makes my ADHD spiral up as well. It may be because I'm an hour and 10 minutes into this, but I can't follow what she's saying enough to know where we're going. Like I'm trying to follow what she's saying. I'm trying to understand where we're going with this. I don't.
I want to get to know them. That's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, of course.
And it's just like a very defensive tone throughout the interview. And it started right away. Like it was like, I'm not going to go back and find a timestamp, but it was like the most basic question. It was like, because I like to do that. Like it was like very like, oh my God, okay, well, that's fine. You can like that. Nobody really asked.
Of course, I don't know who I want. JD picked me. I didn't pick JD. That was not my decision at all.
So can you clarify, did you bring Chris back to the villa for you, for Shelly, or for both of you?
For both of us. I've literally said this so many times.
Explain it again because people still don't get it.
I've said
Explain
it
it
so
again.
many times. I literally said,
The chat is saying every time she lies, her voice goes high and she rambles and she tells on herself. I am agreeing with that. I do agree with that because I think a lot of people have a tell, and I think, yep, I think that that's what's happening.
I'm sitting there in the dressing room with her. I have this great idea. Chris likes me. I like Chris. Chris likes you. You like Chris. I haven't found a match in here. I haven't even explored him because I'm thinking he don't want nobody else because you're making it seem that way.
So let's point out, she approached Shelly. I have a great idea. You like Chris. I like Chris. I'm going to bring him back for you. Why am I in it? Why am I in it? Oh God. Huda can't be direct. And I'm really trying to keep in mind her age because I'm 30, she's 24, but she can't be direct. To sit down but yet she has this talk of like, I'm very blunt, this is who I am, if people can't take it, whatever, but you're not direct. Because you could have very easily sat down and had a conversation with Shelly. And I said this on my TikTok where you said, Shelly, I'm really interested in Chris. I have no other connections here. I really want to pursue him. And I hope it's okay with you, but I'm going to bring him back for me to pursue. Like, I won't be mad if you guys have a conversation, but it seems like things are going really well with Ace. I want to explore things with Chris. I'm going to bring him back. But why? You know what I mean? Like, why say I'm doing this for you as if it's a favor? Not to mention, I hate somebody who does a favor that I don't ask them to do if they don't know that I actually want them to do that. And Shelly quite literally never said, I want to bring Chris back, but can't figure out a way to bring him back. Would you do it? Which would have been a completely different situation.
But I took a chance last minute. So crazy how cards play out. So crazy. Take a fucking chance. And I go and I bring him for a chat. We have a conversation. Goes well. He likes me. I like him. Cool. Great. We're interested in getting to know each other. I can get to know somebody. Cool. First time in a minute. Great. So I was like, okay, I have this great idea. Let's do this. I'll bring Chris back. You with Ace. That way you can still explore Chris and I can explore Chris as well. And you can still explore.
Nobody asked for Huda to solve or save this problem. Not a soul. And especially not Shelly, who's the only person whose opinion would have mattered.
It's a happy, I'm sitting here being like, we're going to be great. Like, this is great. Like, we're happy as fuck.
That all made sense to me. So then like,
and I don't want to be territorial anymore. That's the other thing. Like, I'm trying to completely change. Like, I'm trying to be a better person, not just like, as myself, but in relationships, I'm trying to be better.
So what the fuck do you think got lost in translation between you and Shelly?
Beats me. Like,
Frankie, I would love to go live with Jessie Woo. I would absolutely love it. Love watching her. Always been a fan. Follow her on every platform. Would love it. Would love to see her have done this interview. Ha! Instead of Alex Cooper. Alex Pooper.
I'm sitting here, and this is the thing, like, I felt like everyone kept talking about me, and no one was talking to me. No one was asking me, so what
Stop spreading these rumors around. Stop spreading the lies. You wake up every day, you tell another lie. I don't know how much I can take.
is it? XYZ 1, 2, 3. Like, what did you say specifically? What this and this and this? And I think there's like little relationships in that are a lot stronger than me and other ones. And no one gave a fuck about my opinion. I would try to talk about things in a lot of scenarios where there's a lot of situations where I would be like, hey, can I talk to this about you? Or do you think this? And people would dismiss me multiple times in the villa. I felt like I had no one.
I felt like I had no one is crazy. Hey, did you guys hear that? Like, where's the nobody? Like, where's the nobody? That's nuts. That's nuts. What do you mean nobody? What do you mean nobody? Like, Huda, I need my crystal, which I don't even know if it does anything. I'm not that spiritual, but my mother-in-law is, okay? So help me. I lost my train of thought. This thing does work. I don't even know what I was angry over, and I just touched this thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's completely gone.
I wanted to talk.
Oh, I remember. LOL, you had help. I had some help. Landry and Shelly just making you not sit by yourself. Don't act like this ain't your villa and we're watching. Like, you had so much help. So, anyways, that's disrespectful to all of the times that Shelly, Alandria, Amaya, sorry, I forgot about you, Amaya, that Amaya, everybody sat down and listened to you repeatedly. I think Sierra, when Sierra was there, Hannah. Yeah, let's talk about some more people who weren't there at the end. Like, everybody's journey, it was like your relationship was like mold in the villa. It touched everything. Everybody went home with a little piece of your relationship stuck on their suitcase, stuck in their hair, in their respiratory systems. It went out through the rooms. The relationship was like a mold. It came out and poured out everywhere. So everybody at one point or another, even Ace said, "Why do you show up this way? Why do you show up this way?" Exactly. She cried like she was in a funeral when Alandria went home, but she has had nobody. The one off-topic question, the one light question that I would ask Huda, just because maybe it would disarm her, I would have a laugh, maybe she would have a laugh, but the one question I would ask her before we would get into the interview is, close your eyes and take me through. Of course, we're gonna like, people don't act like I'm being hateful when I say this is like a regular conversation, but like, if it's your funeral, what do you want the reaction to be from the people around you? I myself am somebody that would want everybody to sob, scream, wear black for months, mourn, make a scene, slideshow of your best moments with me, compete to make a speech, put yourself in my casket. But I would just be curious, what does she want? Because I feel like Huda wants these very huge reactions over her a lot. So that's like the only one question. Like, that would seem very on par with her personality. Continuing along. I was at 129.
Talk about things with people and no one would give a fuck.
That's just not true.
And I think that a lot of people were just talking to Shelly, and there was things that were said that weren't said. And it's just like, you're dragging shit and you're making things seem otherwise. And that fucks me up. Now everyone is ganging up on my ass. And all you could have done is had a conversation with me.
That's crazy. You're jealous of Shelly. You're mad that he was talking to Shelly. What you're really upset about is is the attraction to the interest in Shelly over you. You're very jealous of that. What else did she say?
Can I talk to this about you? Or do you think this? And people would dismiss me multiple times in the villa. I felt like I had no one. Like I wanted to talk about things with people and no one would give a fuck.
I'm sorry to
And
play it twice, but I forgot what she said, and I have to hear her say it one more time. It's very much giving jealousy.
I think that a lot of people were just talking to Shelly.
Oh, yeah, she's
And there was
talking to
things that were said that weren't said. And it's just like, you're dragging shit. And
She blames Shelly for people being upset with her instead of blaming herself. She refuses to take accountability for what she did. And like also the awareness to not think maybe people do agree with Shelly. Like maybe I did something wrong there. No. Here, forgive me. Here, take it. Take it. I said I'm sorry. I don't want people to be mad at me anymore. Stop. Stop. You know what I mean? And it's like, I saw that the moment it was happening. I saw that the moment that it was happening. Let's be so real. You didn't care about patching things up with Shelly. You cared about the perception of the rest of the villa, and you wanted to make sure that everybody was not mad at you. Like Huda's unable to sit in discomfort. She's unable to sit in discomfort. She's unable to sit in her and be accountable. She just wants to be quickly forgiven. No, 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 no. Let your apology be as loud as your disrespect. We watched so many people support her. People were exhausted by her. If she was not the center of attention at every moment, then she had nobody. Thank you, the GH Sunday shift. That's exactly it. She demands that everyone forgive her immediately, but never extends that grace. Exactly. And let's go back to this because Kiki had a good comment that I saw as I was talking. Let's call it what it was. She was not used to women like Alandria and Shelly being more desirable than her by the men she's attracted to in the real world.
you're making things seem otherwise. And that fucks me up. Now everyone is ganging up on my ass. And all you could have done is had a conversation with me.
Okay.
So she basically says, Shelly could have saved me from all of this experience had she just had a conversation with me. Mind you, she told you she'd have a conversation with you. She just didn't want to have a conversation with you when you wanted to have the conversation. It's very much on your terms or nothing. And that's how you move in your relationships as well. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Priya. They're not all here to comfort Huda every second of the day. They're also there for themselves. She's very self-involved. Absolutely. My experience is not about making your experience easier. My experience is not about being an emotional support or a shoulder to cry on this entire time, especially when everybody's had a friend who you give advice to and it falls on ears that aren't listening and nothing happens. Okay, let's see. Okay. Going forward a little bit.
To everybody?
Oh my God.
Not to everybody. To Jeremiah. I did the same thing to all the guys.
Wait, okay, slow down.
From dick up. Like I went like,
okay, wait.
There's
a clip of your gorgeous bodacious ass turning from you forward facing to him to you doing a little spin around, ass near face, and then it cuts. And then we see you guys like getting up. And the theory online is that you put your ass in his face. Is that true? Why are you looking at me like that?
Because it's so funny. I'm just like, that is not what happened.
Like, did you ride his face a little bit with that ass? Were those ass cheeks
High pitched. High pitched. There we go again. Ever since someone pointed that out, here we go.
a little around his?
No, I think that's too far. Like, that's a no-go. My butt, I think, was like on his stomach area, like this area right here.
Okay.
And I was twerking. And
Let's see the clip. Yep. Roll the clip, Andy. Thank you, Eureka. Absolutely. And simultaneously, Ace may be 5'10", but his torso is kind of short. So let's say you were on the stomach. You actually pointed right here on the chest. That's still pretty close to the face. Pretty close. Not to mention, we don't believe you. We don't, like, I don't believe her. Right, Katie? I'll speak in I terms. I don't believe her. I won't say we collectively. I don't believe her. Reminder to like the live. I'm at 200. This is the most people I've ever had on my live. Thanks to every person who's chiming in.
I got it was like 2 seconds too. I went da da da, and I got up.
Her reenactment of what she did when we saw her shake her turkey legs and go full anaconda on her knees, slithering it down. What do you mean? All I did is doot doot. She made it sound like she was Tina Belcher. Boom, boom. That is not what you did. That is not what you did. You did. My best friend's kids always say I sound like a sim when I do things. Fair. I do sound like a sim, especially as I'm like hearing myself try to think of a song. You were like, don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Booty on buccal. Booty to buccal. Like right there. So I digress. Also, I have an animated voice. I even sometimes do characters when I talk. Like I can get animated about something. I go back and forth. But if I ever sounded that way, I would hope that people would tell me, and I would hope that I would be self-aware enough to know, because Huda steals pieces of her personality from other people. Okay?
So dead
So
ass.
there were no cheeks suffocating.
No.
Facial.
The only time that ever happened was when I accidentally fell on Taylor in that fucking woodchuck.
Don't care. Don't care. Next. Couldn't care less.
Want to do PDA with him.
Okay, so like in my brain, it's like, okay, undercovers, private. In a separate room, private. I don't like, and mind you, I was doing it with Jeremiah, but like until I see it in my face, like for example, like in Iris and Pepper would do it all the time to piss me off, like just to be
In a private room, private. In a under the cover, private. Okay. If I go, you know what? That's a good idea. Actually, Huda, you are on to something. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you for the brilliant idea. Thank you. You know what? That is so true. If I'm under the covers, it's private. Nobody can see me. I'm no longer here. I'm gone. Like, did you guys know that? Did you know that even though I'm sitting here with 200 people on, you can't see me anymore? Huda taught me that. It's awesome. I didn't know that. Wow. Really cool. So basically, Huda, if you're still, let me teach you this. If you're still in a room, what is that noise? Is Huda HQ coming to get me? What is that freaking noise? So basically, she thinks it's an invisibility cloak like Harry Potter. It's like, what is it called? Like object permanence. Basically, if you go under a blanket, you can't see me. I don't exist. I'm not here. Full incognito. I'm not doing it. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Huda, the rationale behind that. And okay, let's pretend for a second that they don't hear you. I'm sorry. That they don't see you. If you guys see me looking around, I'm hearing like the actual craziest noises outside of my house. And I'm sorry because I know that my mic prevents outside noise, so you're probably not. But it's like sounding like someone's on my porch. Oh, it's my neighbor. Okay, hold on. That actually scared the shit out of me. That literally scared me. Okay, so yeah, basically, I don't know. Rationale, you just because you can't see her, you can't hear her either. So anything like nothing. Nothing. Not that I think that that's the noise we make during sex, actually, so never mind. We're like, but my neighbor's right outside. What am I using? I'm using the Shure mic. I just got myself this for the 4th year that I was podcasting. For anybody, just a random tangent, started out with the blue snowflake microphone. It was $40 and it worked for 4 years, and now this one's great. Okay, everybody, yes, like and subscribe. Can confirm Huda HQ is not at my door. Thank God. Thank God. We rebuke that in the name of the Lord. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. In my house, we serve the Lord. Okay, continuing along.
Be funny. They'd be like, Huda, look away. And then they'd be kissing. And then I'd look over and
Oh, yeah, don't care about Pepe and Iris. Continuing along to my next timestamp. Here.
into me not wanting to kiss him sometimes.
Like, can you just give an example of like what you were experiencing that was playing into you not wanting to kiss him?
Yeah, no. So he had a wandering eye. He was definitely looking at other girls, even if it was off camera, would say things about other girls. And it's like, why are you talking about a girl like that in front of me? And he would have little cute nicknames for girls. And he would say, shut up. He would a lot too.
That was told
once
you
too.
to shut up so many.
I have to go back because I missed that. If all these noises keep up, I'm probably gonna have to get off in like 5 minutes. I'm like freaking myself out.
Little cute nicknames for girls. And he would say, shut up. He would.
Little cute nicknames. Shout out to Jessie Woo. Shelly Amore is definitely what she's in reference to. Cannot sing as beautiful as Jessie, so won't even try. But that's what he's in reference to. LOL. Wandering eye. I would have the biggest wandering eye. I would look like a cyclops. My eyes would come together if I was in that villa. Come together as one so I can watch. I would be watching everybody. Everybody's in a swimsuit. Everything's accessible. You're almost naked all day. I would be looking around at all times.
A lot too.
That was told you to shut up so many times where I was
Alex's tone is unbearable. Like she's like I'll just let her say it for a second.
This isn't like joking
Do not
anymore.
talk to me that way.
Yeah, he always was saying that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like always saying that to you. He was like always saying that to you. He was like always saying that to you. She like goes back and forth between girl from Calabasas, Alex Cooper, and like whatever else she does to like try to match with Huda. Yeah, you know, I would tell her to shut up as well. I would tell you to shut up. I'd be like, hey, have you ever considered shutting up? Have you ever considered shutting up? But have you? I hate shut up too, but I could feel the frustration. It's either shut up or shut the fuck up. I think shut up's nicer. I think shut up's way nicer. Personally. So that's that. Oh yeah. Now she tries to claim that the shut up though. The shut up and the wandering eye, that those are the reasons why she doesn't want PDA with Chris. Now it's not about redoing her relationship with Jeremiah. Let it be known and updated that it's actually now about the fact that Chris told her to shut up. A reaction to her. Is a reaction worse than the actual deed? I digress. But the reaction to her, she wants blinders on. Okay. I'm only looking at Huda. So, in fact, between the hours of every day I wake up until the time I go to bed, please only stand outside my peripheral. Thank you. It's like Summer House is supposed to be fun. Huda, not fun. Not fun going forward. 137. This is probably close enough. Oh, no, I got it better.
Other thing.
You're like, it was like this.
Like, it wasn't even the full shebang. Like, I'm just like, you're over here like, yeah, we had sex and we did this and I fucked this girl. She's so fine. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Like, you barely put that shit in. Don't even. And it's not because I couldn't take it. That's for fucking sure.
I didn't even really prep myself for this timestamp. Let me check my notes because I had a lot of thoughts. Who is she in reference to right now? My understanding is that this is in reference to Chris, right? That's insane. That's insane. Number one, thank you, Brittany. He never said any of that. None of that. None. None of that was said, ever. He said, what did he say? I tapped, I gave in. That's what he said. And it was pretty respectful and it was pretty minimal information. Huda, I can't tell. I truly can't tell if Huda hears one thing and then intentionally flips it in her brain, or if she doesn't even, if the filter that is Huda's brain, it just immediately goes through and but she listens to purposely get people wrong. She listens to mishear because that's not what happened. Exactly. And she told one person, and that was Brian, at least from what we've seen. And you know what? Because editors and reality TV is never kind, and if they had the footage of Chris, they would have showed it. They would have showed it had he said that. It's not we just didn't get to see it. If they had that footage of Chris, we would have saw it. So that didn't happen. He talked about it to one person. Mind you, let's go back for a second. Let's go back to when Iris showed up. Iris shows up. Huda says, this is paraphrasing. Me and Jeremiah did the deed last night. Me and Jeremiah had sex. She let everybody know that her and Jeremiah had sex the day that Iris arrived so that she could mark her territory and let everybody know that he was off limits. We're unsure if she asked him if she could do that, but she did that. So you have told all the girls in the villa before about your details of sleeping with Jeremiah. And yet for Chris, who tells one person, that's a problem. That's a problem. Exactly. She put a hickey on Jeremiah's neck when Iris came. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Let's see.
Like, bitch, shut up. I feel like that shit irritated the fuck out of me.
But did you two even have a conversation that you were like chill?
Okay, listen. I have to pee really quick. So I'm gonna, while I let this play for just a second, and then I'm gonna come back. I'm super sorry, but I would like to keep continuing the live instead of ending it and having to come back. So I'm gonna mute my camera, let this play for a second, and I'll come back.
With him even saying that shit, or is he just going around and saying that shit?
Girl, he knows how I feel about me, about people sharing business of mine.
I think we all do.
Amen, sister. Like,
I learned that today. You're like, shut up.
No,
Between us.
You want to know what's funny? In bed, I literally said, keep this between us. You think I'm going to tell anybody? You think I'm going to tell anybody? I'm like, okay. Like, okay, I know he's not going to tell anybody. Then he goes and does it. You told me you weren't going to do, and I don't think that was shown on camera. But in bed, a lot of the conversations in bed were never shown. But that's when everybody starts getting lovey-dovey and talking a lot. So just an FYI. But yeah, in bed, he told me he wouldn't.
Oh my God.
I'm just like, be for real, brother.
Go back and play basketball.
I'm back just in time. Just in time as well. Thank you, everybody, for understanding. My apologies. Okay. So, actually, no. My ADHD took me. It swept me. What'd you just say, Huda? Because it was crazy. I'm at 1:39:14. Okay. What was those last 5 seconds?
Oh my God.
I'm just like, be for real, brother.
Go back and play basketball.
Please,
Okay.
if you were good.
Everyone that you I learned that today. You're like, shut up.
No.
Between us.
You want to know what's funny?
Okay. I did let's see. Exactly. The go back and play basketball and the brother felt so microaggressive. It felt so inappropriate. Telling a black man to play basketball, exactly. It felt like the LeBron shut up and dribble comment, whomever made that years ago, which was just so disgusting and inappropriate and racist. She talks about herself and you guys have an issue, and she talks about the place in the villa y'all hate. Is this about Huda? Because if so, I think I disagree with that. Literally, all of you are hating. Be for real. I guess this is not going to be your favorite podcast because I will continually keep hating. He does play basketball. So did LeBron. It was still felt weird. That's just my opinion. Everybody, Fox News lady, exactly. Everybody else has the right to feel how they feel. Whew, okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. If he talked about the comment and she asked him not to, okay, yeah. I mean, I guess that's not respectful. Simultaneously, I don't think that he did it to be malicious, and I certainly don't think that he walked around that villa with the air of, "Oh, yeah, like, I what did she say? Like, I just had sex with Huda, like, I fucked, like, the hottest girl here." Like, I don't think that at all. Okay. So continuing along.
Girl.
You're 6'8".
Girl.
Your hands are the size of my face, and you chuck a pillow at my face?
Girl, it like
Do you process things?
The girl, this. What did we miss?
Literally said, keep this between us.
By the way.
Thanks, Queen. I had a nose job like a few months ago. He threw this pillow. Mind you, it might have not been on purpose. I don't think it was on purpose. But even
I mean, the act of throwing the pillow was on purpose. As far as hitting you in the nose, absolutely not. But let's be clear, like, you started a pillow fight. Like, Huda started a pillow fight. Like, and this like brings me back to sleepovers. Like, I remember when we would have pillow fights and always someone would end up getting hurt. Always. My friend Cassidy broke her toe during a pillow fight. Like you started that pillow fight. Like, you started it.
I kept saying, I was like, bro, you picked the hardest pillow and threw it at my face. You saw the way you threw that shit?
Girl.
You're 6'8".
Girl.
Your hands are the size of my face, and you chuck a pillow at my face?
Girl, it like...
Do you process things in your brain? I'm just like...
You got whacked. You got whacked.
Girl, and I'm sitting here and they're like...
I'm like, why would you start a pillow fight? Like, why? It's very... Okay, we'll continue.
She's so dramatic. It's like she got shot. Get the fuck out of my face. That shit hurt so bad. I couldn't even touch my nose like lightly like this without it being in so much pain.
Did he apologize?
Mind you, I don't mean to be insensitive, but it must not have hurt that bad because she's coming back with the nose cast. She's like, Chris, look at my nose. Like she comes back like with the nose cast on and she still wants to have sex that night. Like, you still want to be active in the sheets. Oh, my bestie is on here. Oh, my bestie.
He goes, sorry, cuddles his pillow.
Let's quickly talk about the peaks and the pits. It was so fucking sad. You're all sitting at this goddamn dinner. Everyone's like, let's talk about our peaks. You get to Chris, the motherfucker is like, my 2 peaks are playing basketball with the boys.
Don't like Alex calling him the motherfucker. Do not like that at all.
And seeing my fucking family. And you're sitting directly across from him and he doesn't mention you at all.
When I tell you I clock everything.
I'll tell you, Huda fans, you might as well just leave, okay? That was the funniest thing ever. That was so funny. My sweet perspective, hello. My best friend Bree, who's in here, hello. Listen, that was so funny. They said, what was your best things here? Well, I guess if I had to answer, the basketball. Playing basketball with the guys. Oh, you know what? One more thing. That run I went for yesterday, or whatever he said. And she's like, ha! I cackled.
And these are all things put in the back of my mind. You're like, you won't kiss me in public. Bitch, be so for real.
How did that make you feel?
Absolutely do believe that her nose was hurt. I'm sure that did hurt when it happened. As far as it being so bad that then, 20 minutes later, she's wanting to have sex. Like, I don't know. Of course I'm sure that hurt. I'm sure that hurt. I remember Raquel and the alleged James nose boop incident where her nose job got messed up.
When he wouldn't even mention you.
I sat there and I'm just like, I think there was so many things that were showing me that this man did not like me in that way or like was losing feelings in some way. And it's like, okay, it felt like the more I would talk about what I needed, the more he would pull back and like act like he was so nonchalant and fuck. And it's like, okay, great. That's fine. But I'm not going to yell at you about it. I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to put it in the back of my mind and carry on.
Okay, wait.
Just gonna throw it in the bag. Hoo, 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 hoo. Just throw it in the bag. Hoo, hoo, hoo. She needs to dump the bag. Don't keep it in the bag. If you're a millennial, you're probably rocking with me right there. Okay, let me go forward. I just don't like that whole part. I started talking about it. Don't like her calling him brother. Don't like the whole conversation about that. Let's go forward. Again, it's saddening to see that Chris was like really respectful post show in his interview, and then the dream, and then there's Huda in this interview. The Throw It in the Bag remix is a classic. Okay, so where am I going? Where am I going? Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm going here. I'm going here.
Yes.
Take me to the motherfucking.
That was so easy. I'm sorry.
You're like, yes.
Yes.
And
like,
what else? Oh, yes.
Yes.
The water moment. This has gone viral, obviously. You and Chris are having this final dinner and you're sitting there together and
my best friends are in this chat. Like, what?
You're breaking up and
oh my God, it's so funny.
Oh my God, Huda.
When I watched that, I died laughing because I know exactly what happened in that moment.
Okay, what?
So it's just so funny. He he because it made him look like he was doing his big one. What I had done when he walked up to me, like after like he had walked away initially, I told him, and I was
The
just
fact that legitimate criticisms are genuinely branded as jealousy is it is a lot. I'm gonna put you in timeout. Anybody else? I just learned I can do that. Anybody else? Okay. Let me put you in timeout. There we go. Perfect. Perfect texture for running. Perfect texture for running. Oh, I just got out of school. I'm on my school break. Let me get on here and let me make my comments. Get the fuck out of here. I don't care. You guys are embarrassing. To say that we're all jealous, that all of us are just jealous of Huda. If you listened to an hour and 50 minutes of this and your takeaway is that I'm jealous, you get back to class. You have 4 minutes until your next class starts. Get the fuck out of my face.
it's like, hey, like, are you gonna carry me or like should I walk? Because mind you, there's like rocks in the water and it's like murky and there's like maybe dirty things in there. Like I don't know, glass. I have no idea. I don't want to walk on that barefoot. And so I'm like,
I'm not like Alex Cooper. I will cuss somebody out. I can send you guys receipts of it too. So don't get fucking comfortable in my comments.
telling him I'm like, okay, like, do you want to like carry me or am I gonna walk? And he's just like, I'm not gonna carry you. And I said, okay, then I'll walk my fucking self. Why are you here? And then he walked away.
And in the moment, so you guys had
I'm not gonna lie, Chris, that was still hilarious. Like, first of all, yeah, glass. Like glass. Like if it, let's be clear. If there was glass in there and you had to walk through there, that's crazy. That's diabolical. I don't think that's the case. Chris leaving you there, we come to find out was actually because you tried to like he came back to check on you. Be like, "Are you cool? What are you crying about? Like, are you good? Like you just ended this relationship." And then you said like basically, "Are you going to carry me or not?" And it felt like very like entitled. And so for that reason, if production wanted you to get back there and not have to walking on the water, splish splash, swim in the pool, taking a bath. I don't know the right words for the Dave Matthews Band, but they have a song like that. If they didn't want you walking on the water, they would have brought you water shoes. They brought Chris water shoes. They had to go to the store and get Chris size 16 water shoes. Nata. Nothing. Is this lagging for anybody else? I'm so sorry if it's lagging. Sometimes you have to, Jesse said the other day, or somebody said the other day that sometimes you have to go back in, refresh. Let me know. You know who it was? It was Jamie. It was a creator, Jamie, I follow. Okay, let's see. Okay, going forward. 148:43 I have time stamped. What's happening there? No idea. We'll find out.
and that's okay. Don't we fucking all?
Yeah. And another thing is, I know that there's this thing going around that like they told me I had to act right in order for me to stay on the show. And then I also got told that someone was like, "Oh, you know, they had to put her in psych all the time." Like, but first of all, I would voluntarily go to psych on my own. I would voluntarily go on my own if I felt like I needed to have a conversation about something because I didn't feel like I could have conversations with the girls around me. I needed a woman to talk to. That's when I would go to psych.
The blatant disregard for Amaya, for Elandria, and for Shelley is very concerning. Like, I said what I said throughout this interview because a lot of this interview enforces hate that's already been piling up for the two of those girls that they haven't deserved. the entire time. Jasmine, I'm so glad that worked. If anybody has an issue with the video lagging, go back and refresh. The way that she would trauma dump on Alandria, it makes me upset to see Black women in a space of being a therapist, like being a shoulder to cry on. Yet Huda wasn't there for Alandria in that capacity. She wasn't lightening Alandria's emotional load. I hate to see that when it's not reciprocated. I hate to see Black women put in a position that feels labor intensive. I still haven't watched this interview in its entirety, and I don't blame you. If you came in late, you can go back and you can watch it from the entirety with me. Why can't Black women just ever be exactly? I'm advocating for letting Black women rest. Like, how about just let Black women be? How about that? How about it? How about it? I don't know. So, anyways, 149. Okay.
And when I felt like there was a time where I felt more emotional, I would go to psych. I wasn't we're so like you are mentally unstable. It was never that. Like, because people knew who I was. Like, they knew the real me.
You
And
still needed to talk
yeah,
it
I need to have
through.
a conversation. And it's like, I know I have things to work on. Nobody's perfect.
No, fuck no. That's why
Nobody's perfect. You gotta work it out in some therapy. Oh, yeah.
I think I'm like a little exhausted and tired of the conversation about you online. I'm like, guys, let's fucking calm down. Like, I think again, what I was saying earlier is like, I watched fucking season 2 of UK Love Island. I was all the way back in those days watching that shit. If your shit was called a crash out, these motherfuckers are up for murder. Like, this shit was fucking unhinged like you've never seen. It's like, I think we have to put in perspective.
I want to put something into perspective too. I'm going to look something up really quick. That's a great question. Okay. So true about the first seasons of Love Island UK being really toxic. But I watched them too. Watched the same seasons as you, Alex. But what you're forgetting is that the first season of Love Island UK that had a Black contestant casted was season 4. So the early seasons where everything was as toxic as what you're talking about was a house filled with a bunch of white European people smoking cigs and cursing each other out. And if you think that is at all comparable with the way that our villa was cast this season and the demographic that was represented inside of our villa, then you're wrong. And also, thank you, Veronica. That was 10 years ago and we've progressed. Exactly. It's this. There's a difference between toxic fights with white people and weaponizing tears against Black people. So Alex, it just truly, she does the least, right? She does the least. She does the least in terms of thinking critically, doing her research, being correct. Do you have a Patreon? We need more of this. How do we get notifications? You can click that notification bell to get all of my notifications online for my YouTube. If you're not following me on TikTok, make sure that you're following me over on TikTok where I post consistently. This is my podcast. I have a Spotify, Apple Podcast. You can follow me across all platforms.
What the scenario was, the environment. This is television. Guess fucking what? As much as people want to deem you as this, that, or the other, you gave us the best fucking TV. And clearly it seems like you do have good relationships with people in the villa. You aren't this big villain that the internet has made you out to be. I do want to just ask though, like, how are you though mentally right now?
I'm fine. I will say, like, I'm really happy I met Amaya.
Exactly. I'm seeing comments that say this. Huda is dangerous with her lies. Let's reference Emmett Till. Historically, lies against Black people, lies against Black men by non-Black women, it's not something that should be put up on a pedestal or on a podium. Like, Alex giving her the platform to repeat certain narratives and further certain lies is just it's sad. It's sad is what it is. It's sad, it's disgusting. She's not really held to any standards. That's pretty much all I can stomach of this interview. That was pretty much the bulk of it. It went from Huda rewrote history in this episode, and she had the perfect podcast host to do it with because Alex is performative activism. She's a white feminist. She also only cares about capitalism. Like we're in partnership with Sirius, Spotify. If the episode is going to cost her anything in terms of her followers, she's not going to say it. She's not going to say it. No, finish. What does she say about Amaya? Okay, let's finish.
Yeah. She's awesome.
She sees me. Like, she really does. Like, I'm truly so grateful that I met that girl. Like, she is there for me 24/7. Even after this, like, she's there for me. And I'm there for her. Like, that is my girl. And Kragan, I love her. But damn, I'm emotional today. You caught me at a great time. Jesus.
That'll be the thumbnail.
So just me crying. Just call her mommy. So I
Period.
So I love her, and I feel like after this whole experience, it's like I'm just happy that I'm here. I'm happy that there's so much love. I'm happy that I'm able to not really focus on the hate. And I'm happy that I have things that are more important to me, which is my family. And those are things that I'm more focused on rather than hate.
Who are you closest to aside from Amaya?
The question wasn't about that. To make things clear, I don't think Huda should receive any death threats. I don't think she should receive any comments on her, comments threatening her life. I don't want to see her mental health depleted simultaneously. I'm not supporting her. I don't necessarily want to see her supported because of the things that she did all season that nobody else would be able to get away with, especially not the Black women on the cast from this season who are still being dragged. Like, Jessie did a recap of it in her live yesterday of the interview that Alandria did with Variety. There's just so many triggering things that Black women had to watch throughout this season that just shouldn't be a part of our like reality TV viewing experience. Leah, do you think that Andy's going to stand on business or fumble like the majority of his? Thank you, Whitney. I think he's going to fumble. I think he's going to fumble. I think that Andy is, and someone has said this on Twitter, so this isn't an original thought, but I think that Andy is jealous. I think that he's jealous that Bravo isn't number one, and I think he's going to do this interview. But do I think that Andy sat here with us the last however many weeks to tune into Love Island's episode and vote on the apps and be so involved? No, definitely not. But what I hope, listen, I'll remain optimistic. I hope Andy does his homework. I wish Jessie Woo could host the reunion. I wish that was done. I don't even know that we needed a reunion. I'm going to be so honest. I don't even know that we needed a reunion, but because it's still up in the air about the heart rate challenge, roll the fucking clip. Roll the clip. Now I'm curious. That's everything I have to say about the Call Her Daddy episode. Before you log out of the live, make sure that you like the live, make sure that you like this video, click that subscribe button, turn the notifications on so that the next time I go live, hopefully you can pop in too. If you're not following me, follow me. Have a great day, everybody. And thank you to every single person who commented, who talked with me during this, and who made this so fun to me. I was nervous at first, but this was so much fun. Bye.